Hello, YouTubers. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different than my product reviews, but I figured I've been out there looking at people's like Storytime stuff, and it's really intrigued me. I spent the last actually like 48 hours looking at freaking wedding proposals and crying my eyes out, and listened to a bunch of cheating stories. But anyway, so I figured I'd do a little separate playlist. On my channel, not related to products at all, but I guess I can just stick it in my playlist. I don't know, I'm still learning all this YouTube stuff, but it just made me think about how I tell my friends all these stories that happened to me, and they're all like, you need to write a book, you really need to write a book, and they crack up, and I'm like, it's funny because I don't make this shit up. It really did happen. And so I figured I'd post one of them and name it Storytime or whatever, and put it in a separate playlist just in case you guys were bored and wanted to watch it. They're pretty freaking funny. A lot of them. So I'm going to jump right into this first one. So when I first moved out to Arizona, and we're going to call this person Michael. When I first moved from Baltimore to Arizona without telling my family, because I was told not to tell my family. And actually, when Michael said we were moving to Arizona, I really didn't think we were leaving Baltimore. I mean, because there is like a Phoenix, Maryland, I believe, and there is like a Miami, Arizona, and there's like different states or whatever, and cities that anyway they can be confusing. And I really didn't think he was going to move me 2,718 miles away from my family. I was like, no. So as we're packing, and I see him like getting rid of the sweaters and all this other stuff. And then I remember he traded the vacuum cleaner for a cooler or whatever. And I was like, why are you doing that? Don't we need a vacuum cleaner where we're going? And anyway, so it wasn't until like we hit, I believe, it's when we were first went into Arkansas. And I said, where the hell are we going? And he said, Arizona. I said, you mean that Arizona? And he's like, yeah, where'd you think? And I was like, I didn't know. Anyway, so, anywho, we get to Arizona, and there's tons of stories about that. But this what I'm just going to concentrate on this, our 1 year anniversary. That's all this story is going to concentrate on. Because there's shitload of tangents I could go on right now. Okay, so let's go to the first year anniversary. First year anniversary. We have reservations at Red Lobster. So he's working all day. I believe I might have gotten off. Anyway, so we get there, and let's just put it this way. Apparently our reservations weren't ready because our bar tab was $65. That's a lot of time sitting at the bar waiting for your table. So not only is he tired, now he's shit-faced. And I wasn't feeling any pain either, but yeah. So reservations, $65 bar tab. So we finally get to our table. We order, and the girl serves us our salads. So I'm eating my salad. All of a sudden, I look over, and he is literally over top of his salad bowl. And I was like, Michael. I was like, wait, he's like, oh, man. He's like, oh, I'm really tired. He's like, man, I worked all day. I was like, okay. So the lady comes, the waitress comes in, brings us our food, and he's like, baby, would you get mad if we like went home? He's like, I'm so tired. And I was like, sure, no problem. Should have been my first clue that the rest of my freaking life was going to be filled with disappointment. So I called the waitress over, and I said, can we just box this up to go? I said, he's really tired. And she's like, no problem. She said, but I am required to bring the friggin' dessert tray over. I have to. No matter what, I have to bring the dessert tray over. And I said, okay, just whatever. I said, we're not going to order it, but do what you got to do. So she comes over, and it's one of those trays that has like a little plastic rubber pieces, but they all look, like the dessert they're selling. Because they don't want to keep bringing out dessert and wasting it, so they got replicas of it. So she brings it over, and he's like, "Are these real?" And he's poking them, and he goes to the carrot cake, and he plucks the top of the carrot cake where there's a piece of carrot, and the carrot goes flying across the room into like some guy's table, whatever, I don't know, food, drink, whatever. And he screams. And I was like, no. I said, okay, we don't want any dessert, let's just go, whatever. So we get off the table and everything, and he goes, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he goes to the bathroom, I'm standing there, the waitress hands me my bag of food. So I'm standing there, and then all of a sudden I hear this crash, bang, crash, boom, boom, crash, bang, right? And two guys came running out of the friggin' bathroom. And I was like, what the hell? The friggin' cooks and like the chefs or whatever dudes come running out of the kitchen. They're like, what's going on? I mean, it was so loud. And they come running out, they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, so Michael comes out, goes, grabs my hand and says, let's go. And I'm like, what just happened? He goes, I'll tell you out here. And so he leads me out the door. So we go, and I'm like, what the hell happened? He goes, I don't know. He said, I was at the urinal, I put my hand up on the side of the stalls so I could rest myself and pee, and he said, and they all fell down like dominoes. And he said it was like, boop, 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 boop. And he said, and then apparently there was a guy in like the last stall taking a shit or whatever. I don't know, but he got up and stormed out, and then there's another guy. I guess he had come in and he stormed out, and that's when Michael realized that they weren't. I don't know, were they working on him and they didn't bolt him down? Nobody else used. I don't know what happened, but they literally like a domino all fell down, and yeah. So I was like, what? I said, oh my freaking god! Like how much worse can this night get? So we get home, and I put the food, and I was like, so how much was this? And he goes, what do you mean how much was this? I said, well, how much was the dinner? And he goes, you didn't pay for it? I said, I thought you were paying for it. And he goes, no, I thought you had paid for it while I was in the bathroom. I was like, oh my god. So not only did he pluck the carrot onto some guy's friggin' dinner, not only did he completely wreck the friggin' bathrooms, we dined and dashed. Yeah. I mean, not on purpose, but so we had to avoid going back there for like a long time. But, okay. That should have been my first sign that the rest of this relationship was going to be nothing but chaos and totally fucked up. Now tell me, does that happen to anybody but me? So anyway, this is just a little taste of one of my stories, and they will get better, and yeah, only me. I'm telling you, only me. Unless, you know what, if it happened to somebody else out there, please, like, put it in the comments, because I'd like to know if there's somebody else's life that's totally friggin' screwed up and as fucked up as mine was. And I stayed with this man for 11 and a half years. 11 and a half years. Until, anyway, so, I'm Shelly the Nut. This is Shelly the Nut Storytime. Whole different part of the product reviews. But anyway, hit that subscribe channel. Come on, watch the video a couple times, and hit the like if you liked it. If not, thumbs down, whatever. Anyway, and check back for a little bit more story time, and check back for products. And you might want to check out that What the Fuck in the News, because I hit that up every once in a while with some crazy articles that I give on the news. So be safe out there.